There's been a storm offshore somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's got the waters of Matagorda Bay all stirred up, as if nature wants to throw a temper tantrum and kick up the winds and the waves. Makes no matter, though, when you can find a local fisherman in Port O'Connor who's willing to offer his boat and his time. Then that's the time for us to hold on and hang on for what turns out to be more than an hour of churning through the exaggerated tides. As we approach Matagorda Island, we pass a long line of temporary shelters and ramshackle fishing shacks, all abandoned here in the middle of the week.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
There is, however, only one person to greet us, one friendly face after an hour of angry winds.
Walk on here?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes, yes.
And we're more than happy to step onto Clint Bennetsen's dock and bid farewell to our saltwater shuttle.
The proper name for where we are is called Matagorda Peninsula. However, in 1962, they cut the big jetties through here to open Matagorda Bay into the Gulf of Mexico. So in reality, that made this an island. We're completely surrounded by water, which makes it an island. But the proper name for it is Matagorda Peninsula.
So you're cut off from everything.
I'm cut off from everything. The only way to get here is by boat or helicopter. This is my $1 million view up here. Matagorda Bay on one side and the Gulf of Mexico on the other. There's Port O'Connor, that's where y'all came from earlier. And then some of the cows that we have on the island.
Other than you, those cows are the only full-time residents?
That's it. I'm the only full-time resident. I've been out here 12 and a half years full-time.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You are the only person that lives on this island, the only not living creature, but human being.
I am the only person that lives full-time on this island. I have no place on the mainland. This is it. This is all I have is right here on Matagorda Peninsula Island. All these other little spots, places that you see out here, they're all weekend type places, and you'll see them maybe every weekend or every other weekend, and then it becomes less and less and less, and you may see them once a year or once every couple of years. I call them fair weather islanders. Yeah, unlike myself, I don't have a choice. I'm out here 24/7 regardless. In the beginning, I thought that this would be just a weekend place and that I would just come here every once in a while like every other place is here on the island, but I decided, you know what, it's laid back, it's where I want to be, so I decided to make it my full-time residence.
Clint's compound out here on Matagorda Island consists of his 2-story bachelor pad, palm trees, and poultry. But it's what he doesn't have that makes this homestead an island paradise.
Out here, you're completely what's called off-grid. You have no power source from a utility company. You have to provide your own power and your own freshwater system. So my house is set up primarily on a 12-volt solar system. All of my appliances are propane, a propane refrigerator, propane stove, propane water heater. Every drop of water that goes inside my house is rainwater. This island where we are is about 1,400 acres. It's about 4 miles long and about 3/4 of a mile wide. We're going to go to the beach, or what we call the beach along the Gulf of Mexico. You can see the dunes in front of us, and then right on the other side of them is basically my backyard, which is the Gulf of Mexico.
Talk about peaceful.
It is. It really is peaceful. It is. That's why I'm here. I wanted to get away from people and drama and chaos. I had enough of that. I just did. I just had enough of dealing with that. Went to the police academy in 1983 in Victoria and got hired on by the Victoria Police Department. I was there for 22 years. Every cop out there knows that there comes a time that you've just had enough.
Woo-hoo! There it is.
There's the Gulf of Mexico.
This reminds me of being a little girl walking on the beach, collecting shells.
I find myself taking for granted things that other people would just love to be doing because it's an everyday occurrence for me. It's part of my everyday life, and I try not to take it for granted. I really do, because I know I'm very blessed to be able to live this life. Never dreamed that I would be living on an island beyond the sidewalks, completely off-grid like I do now.
It sounds like there aren't a whole lot of things you miss about the mainland,
There's
but there's
not.
got to be one or two things.
Well, maybe the niceties of being able to order a pizza and have it delivered to your house, or sitting down and having a Chinese meal. There are very few things that I miss about living on the mainland, but for me, they're few and far between.
Do you ever get lonely out here?
There are some rare times that I have a little bout of loneliness. Those times are few and far between, but then when that does happen, I'll take a ride down to the beach and look out over the Gulf waters and realize, you know what, you don't have it so bad out here.
What does this do for your soul?
I think it's good for a person's soul. I know that it's good for mine. I know that it's good for mine. It's almost a feeling of relief being able to live this type of lifestyle, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me happy.
After a long career in law enforcement, Clint Bennetsen stepped away from the badge and the burdens that go with such a dangerous profession. Now, isolated from the chaos of the mainland by miles of salt water, he's found an island where a few animals and his own thoughts are all there is to keep him company. And Clint says that's all he needs.
This is where I want to be. This is where I love to be. And so when it's time for me to go, this is where I want to be. And so if I'm going to go, I want to go happy. This is where I plan on spending my very last days, is out here.